I welcome you to Ghana Tennis TV with me, Gabriel Amuako. And today I'll be speaking to the president of Tennis Foundation Ghana, Mr. Roger Crawford via Zoom. Mr. Crawford, welcome to Ghana Tennis TV.
Hey, Gabriel, good to see you, and thank you so much for having me. It's been hectic trying to make time for this interview, but I'm glad we finally have been able to connect, see the amazing thing technology can do. I'm here on another continent, and you were there, and by just Zoom, we're able to connect and able to speak on issues. So that's great.
Once again, congratulations for winning an award at the just ended SWAC Awards. I mean, how do you feel as a president of Tennis Foundation Ghana?
Listen, Gabby, I can't even express the feeling, but it's just like, you go about doing what you think is the right thing to do, and you do it every day, year in, year out. And then all of a sudden you wake up one morning and get an email saying that, hey, you've been nominated for an award by the Sports Writers Association of Ghana. It's, unbelievable. Sometimes you're like, okay, is this really happening? Who is behind that? Who did that? So listen, it was a shock to all of us, but it was a pleasant surprise for the beginning of the year. And I'm so grateful that our work has been recognized and awarded. And as I said in my little write-up the other day, we shared this award with, of course, the Ghana Tennis Federation. They are our partners, and then and who we work for, just to set the record straight. And of course, Gabby, the whole team of you guys there in Ghana, doing all the hard work, going region to region, helping do different things. So tennis will be, one of the main sports in Ghana. So listen, I'm happy, and I hope you guys are all happy, and you should be proud of what you've achieved.
Okay, let's talk about how this year look like for the foundation. As a president, how would this year look like for us?
Can we talk about last year first?
Okay, so let's talk about last year. When you sit down to analyze what happened in 2022 as a president, what can you say about 2022, especially for the foundation in respect to all the regions?
Last year, I think we were able to hit about 75% of our projected outreach. And here's what I mean by that. We set out to reach almost every region and have an impact there on the children there in terms of tennis development. You and Mr. Yakubu started this, and you went from region to region, giving kids the opportunity to play and compete and feel like they are part of Ghana. What we've had in the past is, everything seems to be concentrated in Accra. And, when I speak about this, I speak passionately about it because don't forget, during my heydays, I was actually living in Obuasi. And I know how tough it is to find sponsorship, to even get on a bus, to go to Accra, to compete and all that. So I can imagine kids in like the Upper West, Upper East regions, having to travel all the way to Accra, maybe come in, playing in a 1-week tournament and that kind of stuff. So it is high time we take tennis to them. And so last year, what we set out to do was exactly that. To cap off a good year, we were able to set up this makeshift court, if you will, at Ankafo in the central region, so that kids in that area will also have a place to go and play tennis. If I can expound a little bit on that, when you speak of that, some people say, oh, no, it's not a regulation court. It's not this, it's not that kind of stuff. But people forget, let me give you one story to that. People forget that when you've heard the saying that necessity is the mother of invention, right? We in Ghana need tennis, and we need money for tennis, to develop tennis. We don't have the money. So we have to look at different ways, right, to achieve the same result as those who have. Novak Djokovic just won the Australian Open. Everybody talks about Djokovic coming on and taking the ball up on the rise. I'm sure you play tennis, so you know what it means, taking the ball up on the rise. Taking the ball up on the rise simply means that you basically hug the baseline. When the ball bounces, you hit it fast. And that takes time away from your opponent, so you're always dictating the court. Now, Novak Djokovic, when he went to Germany to train first at Niki Pilic Academy, maybe he was about 10 or 11 years old, they realized that he already had that skill. As a coach, we spend years trying to teach kids to be aggressive, to take the ball up on the rise. Novak Djokovic learned that because when he was growing up, there was war in the then Yugoslavia, right? Yugoslavia got split, and then it became Serbia and Montenegro and I believe Croatia. Now, during the war, there was no place for them to play tennis. So the kids will go into an empty swimming pool and play tennis. Remember, and in the swimming pool, there's no back room there. So you have to learn how to take the ball up on the rise. It's almost like playing ping pong, table tennis. So that is where he got that skill from. I grew up in Ghana, played at the Kaneshi Sports Complex. It wasn't one of the best courts. Excuse me, my chairman will not agree with me on that. But listen, it wasn't one of, we have little, what's it called? Bumps on the court, little puddles, if you will. And when the ball bounces on it, it changes direction. You have to play. So you have to learn to adapt to that, right? These makeshift tennis courts I'm proposing that every single region, not just at the regional capitals, but even the smallest villages, the most remote villages, if we go out there, clear a piece of land, it doesn't even have to be regulation-sized tennis courts. Remember, kids are now playing on 3660 courts. Okay, 3660 is the smaller court that kids play on. And that's where you develop for the red, orange ball before going on green and then yellow. So we can do that and develop talent that way. You go to a small place, right? And now you have to turn another net. You put it there for them, or you do a makeshift a net, put it there, clear the land, draw the lines for them. I'm telling you, leave them with 4 rackets and some balls, you're going to pick up talent from there. So what happens? At the point, we're going to have so many kids from all over the country playing tennis. And as we say, the cream will rise to the top. Then we're going to get our good players to move to national. It's a very, very easy, achievable plan that will not need a lot of money. If we speak to every village has a chief, okay? If we go through the regional associations, they will lead us to where they think the population will be interested in, and then we'll clear the piece of land, get a grader, clear it, put a net there, watch kids play. In addition, of course, we'll have to get coaches. We may not have all the coaches to send to every place, but we can train adults who are into sports there, and they can start, like the PE teachers do in school, and they can help, nurture those kids to come up. So that is by, I'm not sure, I know I've spoken a lot, but that is from what we did last year and what the projection is.
Okay, so Mr. Crawford, can we talk about last year's ITF tournament? Because last year was a year for Ghanaian players. They made their name, they made their mark. Winning ITF singles was thing of the past now, I could say, because last year we had what's the name, Yakubu winning, Ni coming through. Let's talk about last year's ITF tournament. As the president, tell us a bit about what happened last year.
So last year, as contained in our annual report, we were able to host 6 weeks of ITF tournaments. We hosted 2 weeks in April, grade 5s in April, and then we hosted 4 weeks in August, which was 2 weeks of grade 5, and then another 2 weeks of grades 4. And it was just spectacular to see how far our players have come. And I say our players instead of saying our boys, because we used to say our boys now. We have a whole group of young, determined women who are also ready to make their mark on the junior tennis circuit, and then we'll see where that propels them to. I mean, amazingly, if you look at again where our players started from when we started this, hosting this in 2018, they couldn't even get into the main draw. We'll have to give them wildcards and stuff to get in. Now, we have Rafael Niankra ranked in the top 300. We have Abubakar Yakubu right after him, and then we have Caleb Aite. Right now, the amazing thing is that if you look at somebody like Desmond Ayaba just graduated from the under 18s and then went into the he's now playing in the big boys circuit, and he just won the national ranking, which is a good thing, So all these things point to to the fact that, again, what we set out to do is actually yielding fruit. And nothing makes me more proud than seeing the fruits of our labor. So again, last year we did all these tournaments. We had kids come from different parts of the world as usual. Our boys put up a great fight. It's just amazing to see, these boys given, or this place given the opportunity, what they can do with the opportunity. So what we were lacking in the past was, look, we have everybody practicing and not being able to go out and compete because they couldn't find sponsorship. Now we brought the tournaments to them at home. They're able to play, they're able to make points. And I'll wait for you to get to what we're going to do in addition this year. But again, just seeing these boys progress and moving up in the rankings is just amazing to see, okay? On a side note, let me take this opportunity to let Ghanaians know, the effect of what we've been doing in Ghana. Patrick Sean, who came from Switzerland, played in 4 of our events, is now ranked in the top 50 in the world, okay? He just played in Australian Open and lost in the second round. I sent him an email. So yeah, so in terms of what we did last year with ITF, that's it. We are actually going to look at how we can upgrade our facilities a little more in terms of what is going to happen this year. But again, I'll let you go and come up with your next question, sir.
Okay. All right. So how would this year look like for Tennis Foundation Ghana in respect to ITF tournament?
So
I want to tackle ITF tournament. Then we tackle how they are going to the regions.
Absolutely.
Plans for the region for 2023.
Okay. So in terms of ITFs, this year, we are earmarked to have 8 weeks of tournament. We've improved from our 6 to 8. Okay. And the amazing thing is that the 2 weeks of the new one is a grade 3. It is now called J100 because that's the maximum points you can win from that. So in October this year, I believe the 9th and the 16th, those 2 weeks, we're going to have grade 3 in Ghana. Can you imagine? So we will not only have 2 weeks of grade 5s in April, but we'll have in September 2 weeks of grade 5s again, 2 weeks of grades 4, and then 2 weeks of grade 3 in Ghana. So we are looking forward to, again, our boys or our players doing their utmost best and taking advantage of these opportunities that we are availing to them. On a side note, I have to tell you that after we sent in our applications and everything early, before the year started, I thought it was a bit early that we put in all these applications, but I'm sure I like to do my things. And so I deliberated as the guys at the ITF, if any other country have submitted all the applications and all that. They're like, Roger, no. You guys, that is Ghana, is the first country to submit all the applications and put on their tournaments for the whole year.
Wow.
Thanks to our partners, Ghana Tennis Federation, because they endorse or they sanction those tournaments for us to host, to host them. So it's a great feather in our cap, that together we want to work and put Ghana, on the map. So people look at us and they respect. They see, oh shoot, these guys, you really, and we keep pushing. We started from 2 weeks, we went to 4, and went to 6. Now we're 8 weeks. I believe. Oh, 1 week, actually, you're right. We started with 1 week. Yes. I believe now, in terms of, I looked on the calendar so far, and there's no grade 3 anywhere in Africa, which means that people are paying attention to us. And I believe us at this moment, we have more tournaments in Ghana than in Italy. Because I spend a lot of time looking at these things and talking to people back and forth. Because they have like 6 weeks, you have like 8 weeks. But I don't know, maybe down the line, they may add more or whatever it is. But I look at all these things and I'm like, yes, we're on the right track. So I'm looking forward to an amazing 2023. We're just going to find ways and sponsors to help upgrade our facilities, so it will be befitting of hosting a grade 3, because grade 3 is going to attract some of the top players in the world. Nobody, top 100, top 200 players will want to play that. Yeah.
Yeah. And I'm sure Patrick Sean will be in Ghana for the J3.
The kid is playing Grand Slams now. He's playing Grand Slams. This is one with J3s.
let's, let's talk about regions, the various regions, 16 regions. As the president of the leader of Tennis Foundation Ghana, what are your plans for all these regions?
So again, as I said earlier, the plan is to make tennis accessible to every Ghanaian child. Okay. The adults, of course, we can always find our way to the nearest club and play and all that. But if we want to talk about the kid in a small village somewhere in the country who probably seen tennis being played on YouTube, but things like this is something that is way far away from him or her, is not achievable. Our mission is to bring that sport to them wherever they are. You don't have to play on a big stage or what's it called, a world-class court to develop talent. We will take the what we can get there. What we have to provide is provide a net, okay? Which will provide a net. We'll provide rackets, as many rackets as we can, and then we'll provide the appropriate level of balls and an adult resident there who will coach to understand the game, and that person will guide them to do that. One of the things that I did and also growing up was that and I don't think a lot of people know this also, but we all started playing table tennis, and Frank Ofori was actually a really good table tennis player. Really good table tennis player. Because we had the opportunity growing up at Kaneshi Sports Complex. There was the table tennis place, there was the tennis courts, there was the handball, there was swimming. So we all taught ourselves how to swim before then the coach comes in and helps you. So one of the things that we did, I remember we did this at home, was that we find a plywood and we'll put it on the table, put like a little stick on it, or sometimes empty milk cans and put a small plank of wood on it. Just buy the bat from Hatramani, the cheapest one, buy a ball and start playing. And that is how you teach yourself. That's the opportunity we're trying to give these kids. Because look, do you know that every little town, every little village in Ghana has a small park to play soccer, football, right?
Yes.
So the kids go out there, you don't have a coach, they just play. They learn different tricks. They learn, so what? So soccer or football has become, like a widespread, the number one sport in Ghana, because everybody knows something about it. And then they can do their tricks and all that because that is provided for them. Same idea is what I want us to do with tennis. Let's get there. Let's clear a piece of land for them, put a tennis net on it. Again, it doesn't have to be a huge net. We can have your friend, All Powers, the guy in Adabraka, make some of these makeshift net posts for us. I'm telling you that before, in less than 10 years, we are going to get talent from different parts of the country that will be unbelievable to you. Things like what we call specialty shots, the slice and all that. It is better when kids learn how to do that on their own because they understand what they are doing than when a coach stands there and tells them, take the racket here and slice and do all that. So it is amazing what we can, what can be achieved with this approach. And I'm sure, trust me, many countries or people are going to come from different parts of the world and be like, what is going on in Ghana? Just like people are asking what is going on in Kazakhstan, and now they're producing all the top players. So it is a grassroots, approach that we have to take serious and make something happen.
Let's talk about Patrick Sean now. What do you make of Patrick Sean's performance at this year's Australia Open? Not. Let's also remind ourselves that Chelsea Fontella, she's also Patrick Sean is from Switzerland. Chelsea is also from Switzerland.
Yes, but Chelsea is based in the US.
Chelsea has made a mark several times on the Grand Slam, especially the juniors.
Yes.
Now let's talk about Patrick Sean's performance at this year's Australia Open.
So I'll tell you something. The difference between Patrick Sean and our boys is not just talent. Our boys are equally talented, okay? But he has the opportunity. So when he came to Ghana, he wasn't ranked any higher than maybe Desmond at that point. But if you look at it too, Patrick is going out and playing more tournaments and traveling because there is the funds, there is the sponsorship for him to do that, right? Whether from parents or from companies or whatever. So he keeps playing. The only way you can get higher on the ITA rankings is if you compete. You know, our boys don't have that. And that's the next thing that we have to look at. We have to go, we will not be able to do it for 10 boys, but if we pick 2 boys, and by the way, I've always believed that our boys are going to put us on the world map in doubles first than singles. Okay, I look at somebody like me. Yes, I believe that. And that will be proven to you very, very soon. If you look at somebody like Niankra and you look at Yakubu, that is a great pair. If you look at Desmond Ayaba, look at his successes in juniors. Most of them are doubles. It's amazing hands, speed, skill, like unbelievable. So you know now he's in the he's with the adults. If he finds a partner to complement him, he will be amazing as a doubles player. I see him getting close to, you know, like a top 10 in doubles if he continues in that path faster than singles. And you know what? In the past, that was how people actually got, or players got into the singles rankings. You play a lot of doubles, you know, so you get points, and you're also able to handle the pace at that level. And then once in a while, you go out and play singles. Most players use that route. So it could be something that we can look at for our players. Now, Patrick is ranked in top 50. You know who else is ranked top 50 in the world? He just got a Grand Slam Development Fund money. You know who?
Wow.
Reda Benani from Morocco.
You don't mean it?
Yes, Reda Benani. Yes, he's ranked like 56 in the world as at last night that I checked. His name was he was one of the recipients of the Grand Slam Development Fund. So he's getting money for him to travel. But I think he's on the second tier. The first tier, people are getting like 25,000 for the year. He's getting like 12,500, which is still a good deal for him to travel around, you know, train and play tournaments. So again, there's so much ahead for us to achieve if we put our boys on the right track. Let's look at ways to invest in them. You know, if we pick 2 or 4 boys, invest in them, push them. Yes. Now, I mean, of course, if they get to that level, top 50, top 100, they will get. Oh, Koulibaly, by the way, is also Eliakim also got. He got one of the highest ones, by the way. He got 25K. Koulibaly, Eliakim Koulibaly.
I'm not surprised.
So these guys, all these kids came to play in our tournaments. You know, with like Johnson and Ayaba and Entry and all those kids. So that tells us that look, now that we are hosting these things, let's give our kids the opportunity. But now we have to go to this next level, which is not stopping in Ghana. So right after what we're doing, what we host in Ghana, we should be able to push them to do the next level. Do you get? So one of the things that I'm thinking, and maybe we'll discuss with the federation is this. Maybe we'll have to start looking at doing, you know, reciprocity with some of the bigger countries, so that their kids can get wildcards from us. The big countries do that. And then our kids can also get wildcards when they, you know, during their events. We'll see. We'll see. Now that we're hosting grade 3, we have a big bargaining chip.
Well, you've answered the question. I wanted to ask you, what must we do to also get there? But it seems you've after asking Patrick Sean's question, you've answered almost all.
Yeah. Yeah, go ahead, sir.
Okay, so let's look at Roger Crawford. This year is election year for Ghana Tennis Federation. Are you contesting for the presidency seat?
Gabby, that's a surprise question. Seriously? I don't think anybody doubts.
Help me out.
Huh?
What's the agenda you are pushing that if you become president, this is what you'll be doing?
Grassroots tennis, Gabby. Same things we're doing. Grassroots tennis and you know, tennis, you know, outside of Accra. You know, Accra is always going to be Accra. There's a lot of clubs in Accra. The kids in Accra will be fine. They will get the help and all that. Now it's time for us to go to the regions. Let the regions also have their day. That's it. That's it. You know. So let's focus on that. Let's see different ways that we can help the regions. It's just you know, it's the right thing to do. It is the right thing to do. You know, if we go there, we do these things. We help them with, you know, whatever amount of money we can get to, you know, maybe sustain a coach and that kind of stuff, you know, do those things for them, because I'm telling you, there are talented kids around the country. We just haven't found a way to tap into that. Tennis can be just Accra and Kumasi, and maybe Cape Coast, you know, or Vault. No, there's talent. You know, faster, stronger, higher. Remember that. Okay, I always talk about that. Faster, stronger, higher. If we have kids, you know, this kids in Tamaga who can jump a high jump better than some of the athletes we have on the national team. I'm not kidding. And they don't even wear sneakers, or they don't wear shoes to do that. You know, naturally they just have it. So why don't we tap into some of that also? You know, we're talking tennis development here. So let's look at different ways that we can bring a lot of people a lot of players to the table. The more players we bring to the table, the cream will always rise to the top. You know, it would take a whole bunch of kids to push one. The Russians always tell you, look, for every Medvedev that they produce, there's 100 other kids who are pushing him. That's why he's there. So he's tough. You know what I mean? So let's do that. Let's grow our player base from what is it now at the national ranking level, maybe 50, 60. Let's grow that to 500 and around the country, and give every kid a chance. Let me just say this. I'm thinking you're about to go, but I want to commend and congratulate Enoch, Godi, and Hope for performance for the national junior ranking that they put together. You know, it is a great tool. I know we talked about that in the past. It didn't happen because of one or two things, but listen, all credit to them. They did a great job. Now we have a national ranking for all the age groups and both boys and girls, and that's what we need. You know, now we have to expand that to the regions. You know, can you imagine my little boy in a small remote village saying, look, I'm going to go to the regional capital this weekend because I'm going to go play in a junior league. Let them go, let them play, let them be a part of that. That's how we develop.
Okay, my last question. You've supported Bow Tennis Club with painting of the courts. You supported Ashaiman with another painting of the courts. What's next for you? I mean, which club again? Because last year you supported.
Gabby, I rather we don't talk about those things. We help those the areas that we think have need. Our focus this year should be how we are going to update the facilities at the Accra National Tennis Center. You know, we still have we have to do major resurfacing. You know, we're thinking if the All African Games is going to happen in August, then maybe we'll just ride on their coattails and wait for them to do that, because I hear, you know, maybe they will use the stadium and all that, but I don't know for sure. But in any case, I think we should still plan on not just painting the court, but resurfacing it. You know, so I'm looking into other options, and you know, we'll talk to the authorities and see what we can come up with. Because again, if we're going to host a grade 3, we want to make sure that, you know, our facilities reflect that.
All right. Your final words to tennis players in the country or in Ghana, and also coaches.
You've heard me say this many times, and I'm going to say it again because I sound like a broken record. A rising tide lifts all boats. Okay, in Tree they say we need to right? So whether it's coaches, players, they shouldn't think we're only focusing on players, but coaches, players, officials, sponsors, anybody involved in tennis development. This tide that is coming will lift everybody up. So whatever it is, or whatever area you find yourself in, just keep plugging away, just keep working, put the country first, right? At the right time, which is going to be very, very soon, very, very near future, things are going to change, and Ghana tennis is going to be where we all think it should be, and everybody's going to have a piece of the celebration or the national spice, so to speak. So, advantage Ghana, let's go.
All right, Mr. Crawford, thank you for the time. Thank you very much. You've really delved into all the issues or all the questions I asked you. I'm very grateful for the time.
Thanks, Gabriel. We'll meet on the other side.